The cashless policy adopted by the Central Bank of Nigeria in 2012 was targeted towards reduction in the high level of cash flow in the economy. The Central Bank of Nigeria introduced a new policy on cash-based transactions, which stipulates a cash handling charge on daily cash withdrawal that exceed 500,000 for individuals and 3 million for corporate bodies. The new policy on cash-based transaction withdrawals in bank aim at reducing, not eliminating, the amount of physical cash, coin, and notes circulating in the economy and encouraging more electronic-based transactions such as payment for goods and services, transfer, among others. The new cashless policy is, however, introduced to address a number of key issues, which includes to drive development and modernization of our payment system in line with Nigeria's Vision 2020 goals of being among the top 20 economies by the year 2020. An efficient and modern payment system is positively correlated with economic development and is a key enabler for economic growth. More so, to reduce the cost of banking services, including cost of credit, and drive financial inclusion by providing more efficient transaction options and greater reaches. The policy geared to improve the effectiveness of monetary policy in managing inflation and driving economic growth. The policy was meant to address the high cost of cash, and in addition, the cash policy aimed to control some of the negative consequences attached with the high usage of physical cash in the economy. The high cost of cash along the value chain from the Central Bank of Nigeria and the bank to corporations and traders, everyone bears, is as a result of high volume in cash handling. In addressing the challenges of cash handling, the policy indicated that the high risk of using cash encourages robbery and other cash-related crimes, which can further lead to financial loss in the case of fire and flooding incidents.
Differential is that of fee on deposits. The excess deposits within the thresholds. Now, we've heard about channels that we can actually operate without cash. And those are the areas where we equally heard here that the infrastructure and everything need to be put in place before the final position of making it mandatory, and the fee charge for the excess lodgement, withdrawals of cash. So the one that is trying to say clarification, these are the two things. So it's not like it's suspended, it's an ongoing thing at different level of implementation. But the final position of charging fee is actually what was even deferred from 2014 to 2015.
High subsidy Central Bank of Nigeria analysis said that only 10% of daily banking transactions are above 150,000, but the 10% account for majority of the high value transactions. This suggests that the entire banking population subsidize the cost that the tiny majority 10% incurs in terms of high cash usage, among other reasons. The cash policy also states that only CIT licensed companies is allowed to provide cash pick-up services, and that banks will seize cash if transit lodgement services rendered to merchant customers in Lagos State from December 31st, 2011. The policy, however, warned that any bank that continues to offer cash in transit lodgement services to merchants shall be sanctioned. The policy further charged that the third-party check above 150,000 shall not be eligible for encashment over the counter. Value for such checks shall be received through the clearinghouse. The service charge took effect from March 30th, 2012. This gave people time to migrate to electronic channels and experience the infrastructure that has been put in place, banks were to use this period as grace to encourage their customers to migrate to available electronic channels and, where possible, demonstrate the cost that will accrue to those that continue to transact high volumes of cash from March 30th, 2012 in Lagos State. Lagos State was used for the pilot study from January 2012, while the policy took effect in Rivers, Anambra, Abia, Kano, Ogun, and the Federal Capital Territory on the 1st July 2013. The policy was finally implemented nationwide on July 1st, 2014.
The 6 zones, as it were today, where officially cashless Nigeria is operating. And the other question has to do with what is the status, because some banks are charging outside of this jurisdiction. It was important today to discuss about cashless Nigeria at the Bankers Committee meeting so that we can provide this clarification. And the official position today is cashless Nigeria is operating in 5 states plus the Federal Capital Territory. That's the official position. We are in the know that some wrong application of this policy had occurred, but it's in the past. And a directive has been given by the Bankers Committee, by the Central Bank, that in all such situation unattended, as it were, all these charges should be refunded to the customer forthwith.
The cashless policy applies to all accounts with exception to government revenue generation account, primary mortgage institutions, microfinance bank, and embassies. Banks should therefore work with their corporate customers to arrange for suitable collection options. The cashless policy further placed a limit to cumulative daily withdrawal. However, for individuals, the daily free withdrawal limit was said to be 500,000. The limit applies to the account so far as it involves cash irrespective of channels over the counter, ATM, third-party checks, and cash over the counter in which cash is withdrawn. Stating categorically, if an individual withdraws 450,000 over the counter and 150,000 from the ATM on the same day, the total amount withdrawn by the customer is 600,000 and the service charge will apply 100,000, the amount above the daily free limit. The limit also applies to cash brought through CIT companies, as the CIT companies only serves as a means of transportation. The policy further enumerates that the charges will be implemented in the following state beginning from March 30th, 2012 in Lagos, October 1st, 2013 in Rivers, Abia, Anambra, Ogun, Kano, and the Federal Capital Territory. The service charge for daily withdrawal above the limit into an account shall be borne by the account holder. In addition, the policy urged that individuals are not prohibited from withdrawal above the stipulated amount, but that such transactions will be subject to cash handling charges. The cashless policy also emphasized the benefits, stating that for consumers, increased convenience, more service options, reduced risk of cash-related crimes, cheaper access to banking services, access to credit, and financial inclusion. The cashless policy also meant to encourage corporate organization in the areas of faster access to capital, reduce revenue leakage, and reduce cash handling, among other benefits. The Central Bank of Nigeria have been running targeted stakeholder engagement sessions for key groups that will be most impacted by the cash policy as a first stage of its planned communication campaign, with the objective of creating awareness and providing an opportunity for stakeholders to raise issues and get on the spot clarification. The cashless policy, however, adopted in the year 2014, have been successful in Nigeria. In a related development, the Central Bank of Nigeria adopted another policy to quit the use of other currency within the country. The decision of the Central Bank of Nigeria was made known to pressmen in a press conference held to enlighten the press on the recent decision of the Central Bank of Nigeria on domiciliary account. Officials of the bank who addressed the press at Central Bank of Nigeria office Marina said the CBN is prepared to curb and punish currency sellers in the black market while charging traders of currency in Nigeria to desist from it, warning that a committee have been put in place to checkmate and fight anybody found in the act.
As banks, we have stopped receiving these dollars. The honest truth is we don't really concern ourselves with what people do with them after. The official currency of exchange in this country is the Naira. We will continue to receive it on a pay and receive. For those who have chosen to hold dollars, truly it is a personal decision. And I guess you can always take it out of the country if you're allowed to and you're not breaching any rules. 48-hour funding for FX. I think it will also help a lot in determining what is the real demand or what is spurious demand. You've got to be sure that what we're seeing is effective demand backed by cash. So that way it's easier for the central bank to actually determine what the demand is and meet the proper demand. If people didn't have to fund 48 hours before, you could have a demand of 100 million, of which maybe only 50 million will be funded by cash on the day. So I think by making people fund 48 hours before, you will get to a more realistic figure of what the actual daily demand will be. And I don't think this is very unusual because even the delivery of dollars has a 48-hour time period.
The Director, Corporate Affairs, Central Bank of Nigeria, Mr. Ugochukwu Okorafor, in an interview with DBN Television, said the Central Bank of Nigeria is willing to go extra miles to broaden the economy of the country, adding that necessary equipment to control internet banking is put in place to ensure effective use of the technology. He further urged Nigerians to comply with the new domiciliary account policy, stating that the Central Bank of Nigeria is out to change the situation of the economy. Okay, sir, please, we want to take a comment from you on the policy concerning the dollar account. What do you think will be the implication on investors within Nigeria? And then the people, the foreigners coming into the country, how do you think that they will cope up with this policy?
Well, first of all, let me tell you, domiciliary account is supposed to be used in a particular way. In any country you go to, you use the currency of that country. If you go to Britain, you use the pound, US the dollar, wherever. So when you go to these countries, if you set up a foreign currency account, it is expected that those accounts should trap inflows, money coming from outside for work done. There could be remittances, wire transfers, copyright royalties, whatever. It's the same thing in Nigeria. We allow people to set up domiciliary accounts in order to enable them track and trap inflows. Now, we don't expect that people will use domiciliary accounts to begin to attack the Naira. What people now do is that they take Naira, go to the market and buy foreign exchange. They buy dollar, they buy pounds, and then they go and put into domiciliary account and then wire the money out. So that puts a lot of pressure, or it used to put a lot of pressure on the Naira. What we've said now is that, listen, we don't mind if you are earning anything from abroad. Use your domiciliary account, nobody will disturb you. But if you want to go and buy cash, use Naira, buy cash, put into that account, we will not allow that. Now, what has then happened is that the people who genuinely need foreign currency are now the people who are having access to foreign currency. Today, Central bank met all the needs of those who genuinely needed foreign exchange and applied for it. And that will continue. If you have school fees to pay, medical bills, tourism, BTA, PTA, all these things, you don't need to go to the black market. Simply go to your bank or go to Bureau de Change and buy. And there is no need for anybody to go to the black market as long as your need for foreign exchange is genuine. Now for the foreign investor, we have cleaned up that market. I will continue to clean it up to make sure that the money that comes in here is legitimate. And that anybody who comes in, you can get your money inside the country and take it out. But what we will not accept is a situation in which people just use Naira, go and buy raw dollar and pounds and all that, and put into a domiciliary account. Now, what is the problem? Somebody can use money, buy dirty money, illicit money, cocaine money, terrorism money and all that, put into his account and wire it. We don't want that. So that is the challenge. We are getting a better regime, a better financial system. And I think everybody is seeing it that it is now playing out very well.
Okay, thank you, sir. Now, I want to ask this, sir. This thing has been going on for a very long time now. How come it's now that the CBN realizes the fact that they need to put a check to all this?
No, I mean, it's not like... There must be a time you realize something, you learn of something, you watch it, you confirm that it is there, then you take steps. Even when you know that something is happening, you have to take the proper step. So you study it and come up with a solution, which we believe we have taken now. That's the step we've taken, is the one that we think will curb it. And we're asking all Nigerians, you don't need to worry. Once you need to pay school fees or whatever you want to travel, simply go to your Bureau de Change or go to your bank and apply. All the people who applied today got full allocation for their needs, and all legitimate demand for foreign exchange will be met by the market.
Okay, I still see a need that the recent policy is going to affect, or rather the technology will affect the process of this recent policy. Is there any measure to increase our internet system as regard to going to the bank and they are telling you there is no network, there is no this, therefore you cannot transact this, you can't transact that? I mean,
well, let me tell you, the central bank is not the Voltron of Nigeria. You know what I mean? The one that has all the answers to everything. When it comes to power failure, central bank, insurgency, central bank, bad road, central bank, electricity, no, it's not like that. The way every system works is that there are institutions, there are agencies, there are individuals, even you and I, we all have to play our part. We are specifically involved in monetary policy. Of course, we try to be creative with our use of monetary policy to reform the society, but we want everybody to be involved. For instance, the indication we have given people about consuming locally made goods is what you and I should pick up. We must use that to make sure that employment is generated here, that we begin to consume locally made goods, that our manufacturing capacity, local manufacturing capacity will increase. So if we don't, and we'll continue to have imported toothpicks and champagne and things of that nature, Central Bank said, I wouldn't have the right, we can't go and arrest you, but you won't use our foreign exchange. Also, make sure that when you are making that choice as a people, we love big cars, we love champagne, we love sophisticated wine, we love toothpicks that are golden or imported, we love incense. Fine, it's okay. But know that you are responsible for the consequences of your actions. There are consequences. When this money finishes, what are you going to do? Now, it's good enough when we used to have over 24 months cover for imports. Right now, Nigeria has about 6 months, 5 months of import cover in terms of foreign exchange. So it's important for us to, put a halt, so that we don't get to a point where we'll run out of foreign exchange. It's still okay everywhere in the world. If you have the kind of import cover we have, the country is doing good. Because we are used to 24 months, 18 months and all that, we believe that we need to push it to that level.
Okay, finally, sir. Now, since this policy has been passed, the media is carrying it, and the bank too will also continue to inform the populace of Nigeria. But for those who cannot get this information through this medium, are there any initiative, campaign programs organized by the Central Bank of Nigeria to, project this information to the public?
Oh yes, of course. Part of it is what we are doing now. The media have been very helpful. The bankers committee have been helpful. All the banks individually, central bank, we are all preaching this. We want people to understand that the way to go is really to be self-reliant. Any society that depends on imported goods, that does not manufacture its own goods, that does not consume its own goods, will not develop. So what will happen is that you continue to be a dependent economy, and there will be what you call volatility, unemployment, social fallout, all kinds of problems will be affecting that society. So that's it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
The needs to buttress Naira have been found necessary by the Central Bank of Nigeria, projecting the demands to develop the Nigeria economy in order to enhance growth and diversification of the economy. That's it on Focal Point. DBN This Morning continues shortly.